gotta show my strength. But honestly, it's because I really am impressed by how Dreams and Highs has been playing. But now that I see Blacklist International getting that Harif, I might want to change my prediction.
Oh man, I mean, man gets a new haircut and now he's already going for Alter Ego. It's gonna be a fun time here because Blacklist International gonna be on first pick blue side up against Alter Ego red side. Second pick Harith, instant lock-in for Blacklist International, a signature for Outplayed, but Alter Ego responding. Once again, we're going to see another performance here on this Matilda. Let's see whether or not it's going to work out with the Suyo.
You have to slow down the game enough for Matilda to really feel strong. But there's a bit of a problem here, Gideon, where Matilda is amazing at sustaining the front lines for a very long time. When you're going up against Harif, you kind of want lockdown. You want to stop Harif from dashing around. I don't think Matilda is gonna do that. So now you're locked in where your EXP laner, whatever it is, it has to be someone that can make sure the Hive stops moving. I'm thinking something like a Phoveus here. Maybe even go as far as a Gatot Kacha with a taunt. But yeah, Alter Ego right now, I'm honestly liking Blacklist International's draft because Harv is such a power pick, and Matilda hasn't been doing all that well, and it's not really the answer going up against the Harif.
I'm actually with you on those picks of Gatot or even Phoveus for the side of Alter Ego. I mean, considering the bans, they've already gotten rid of the Joy. Obviously, you got to get rid of the Jushin, but they made sure to get rid of the Yve as well. So I think Blacklist's approach into taking Harith as the first pick was already a very good idea. With the Phoveus lock-in for the side of Alter Ego, we start moving into the second phases of the ban. We're still missing mid laners from both sides, or I don't know, with the triple flex pick in the Hilda, it could go anywhere.
Yeah, like that's why it's so dangerous going up against Blacklist International when it comes to the drafting phase. Now, I do want to point out for Blacklist, I feel like one ban they should really consider is the Moskov. Not saying that the Moskov has that great of a matchup going up against the Harif, but just because we've seen how Indonesian teams, when they have a Suyo as well as a Moskov, they like to split the map where both heroes can go split push, and that can cause some form of chaos. Even though they have the Hilda as well as the Khalid, very, very fast moving heroes, but still, it's something that if they want to respect or they're just understand that that's a possibility.
Well, I mean, even if they don't get Moskov, there is the possibility of Claude as well. Somewhat a little slower out there, as you called it. The Moskov ban comes through. Granger, the fact that it didn't get picked up by Alter Ego is a little shocking to me because High's performed very, very nicely on it in all of the matches we've seen him actually play with outstanding KDAs. But Alter Ego, very respectful, getting rid of the Hayabusa and as well as the Alice as we move on to the second phase of picks.
Usually it's an Iritel pick for going up against the Hive. However, if we're looking at matchups so far, the Beatrix actually has a pretty good laning phase going up against the Hive, and in terms of scaling, it actually does quite well. So if you're talking about meta, it should be an Iritel pick for Alter Ego, but if they want to switch it up, Beatrix seems to be quite a good option here. Ooh. In terms of a priority mid, I don't know, maybe something like Sicilian or a Valentina.
Yeah, something, if they want to go for the Beatrix, they probably want to incorporate the mid lane to be sort of that setter, but instead they're going to go with Valentina. They've got the Raging Sandstorm to work with here. The Beatrix could still be a possibility for Alter Ego. We now jump over to Blacklist International. Don't know where this Hilda is going to go, or even with the double flex pick of the Khalid, but at this point, we need to know where the jungle wants to play, because they already have a bit of an issue if they want to go for Ling. Having to deal with the Phoveus is hard. Valentina naturally makes melee ranged junglers a bit of an issue with the added fear with the Shadow Strikes. So I'm curious to see how Blacklist International is actually going to, lean around those picks.
Honestly, even I'm not entirely sure. If they don't want this Hilda be mid, I'm thinking something like, usually it's a UA pick, but Veil might not be a bad pick, but oh, they go with the Bane! And we haven't seen the Bane so far, and the Faramis. Even though Valentina can pick that up, but still, this is a very fight-heavy comp by Blacklist International.
Oh, I'm actually kind of down for this, right? You just stick as 5. If they try to engage, you have a guaranteed disengage. You also have strong counter engagement as well if Alter Ego maintains tempo. Begs the question, this very final pick, what is going to be the gold lane? Because it doesn't feel like anything is really good at this point. You get a Beatrix, you still have to deal with the Netherrealm. If you go for Claude, same problem as well, and even worse because now you have to deal with the Sharks on top of that.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Beatrix is still okay if you want like the Beatrix just to deny that all and then everyone goes in. But yeah, I feel like at this point, if possible, try to win the lane. Again, Iritel as well, as the what did you say? Oh yeah, Beatrix. Other marksmen's, I don't know, a bit of a stretch, but no, they go for the Claude, like you mentioned before. And I actually do agree, the Club might not have a great matchup here going up against the Bane as well as the Faramis, but the same thing can be applied when we're talking about Moskov and Suyo. Alter Ego is having plan B here. If they don't win the team fight, time to split up the map, and Claude can do just as well as the Moskov.
I don't know. I feel like protection is better. Prevention is better than the cure. They need protection. They need to be able to kind of address the map accordingly because, again, it's going to be a very tight game of who can control that tempo. We're expecting Khalid to actually increase the momentum for Blacklist International if they do find that space and time. But once you have that Matilda, you can actually split the map into two if necessary while still protecting your cores from these initial dives. I am curious because this is one of the few times that we are seeing that Alter Ego are straying away from that team fight heavy style of composition in comparison to the Blacklist International who want to stay as 5.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like with that Bane pick, it's very difficult for you to win this team fight because essentially you have to force MP to use the deadly catch early so that the Claude doesn't get stopped when he uses his blazing duet. But again, looking at having the Faramis as well as a very heavy front line with the Hilda and the Khalid, I kind of feel like he will have plenty of time to wait before he uses his deadly catch. So honestly, looking at the draft here, Blacklist International is definitely the favorite to win the team fight.
All right, let's see how they're going to play this out. It's going to be Alter Ego on the red side up against Blacklist International on the blue side. In terms of emblems, Master Assassin, as well as a bit of Vitality coming in from highs, knowing that there is a potential to punish if AE are going to rotate to his side of the map, which I'm expecting him to do so. But with an early invade stealing away that purple, Alter Ego going to get slowed down from Suyo hitting that level 4 on time.
Yeah, and again, I kind of feel like that Master Assassin is setting up so that he can actually go. Oh, but hold on. Looks like a bit of a scuffle here in the mid, but Gabe as well as Dreams is able to get away. And Alter Ego really needs to avoid these early fights. And JM Pinkman is down in deep, and he gets first blood onto Gabe, but JM Pinkman, he will die himself. But I gotta tell you, man, I kind of feel like that is worth it.
Oh, it's so worth it. I mean, yes, Phoveus is going to be able to catch back up, even though JM Pinkman was doing a good job in lane, but he's punching above his weight. He's slowing down Debe even more than he already was, losing out on that purple buff. So at this point, Blacklist International, they can actually play this pretty slow and steadily. Like, outplayed, yes, he's getting chunked out by highs, but that's not the end of the world. His whole team's going to be moving to that side of the map. As we go into a technical pause here, we'll see how exactly the adjustments are going to go, or at the very least, get the players back into shape. Hopefully, the ping issues do not sustain.
I kind of feel like the only way that they can really recover from this is some kind of off-tempo play where when the Matilda hits level 4, use the Circling Eagle to pull someone in and get some kind of kill. If possible, give the CEO at least an assist so that you recover a bit of your farm, because at this point, Alter Ego, based on the draft, they have to play slow, but because they've been punished so hard in the early game, they might have to risk it. If they're able to get some kind of win in terms of kills, then maybe they can turn things around. But again, that's quite a big risk. And going up against a Philippine team like Blacklist International, rarely do we see them making the mistake of overstaying their welcome.
I think there's a couple of like protocols that need to be followed, right? Yes, in the current match status, Outplayed is a little chunked out here. He's on his last third of health, but you can tell that Blacklist International are going to his side of the map to alleviate that pressure, give him a free recall. I think that Alter Ego might be able to punish this later down the line, maybe within the next minute or so, trying to catch off, especially the mid laner here, Haji, on their rotate back to the mid lane. That could be one of the tempo breakers that we're looking for, assuming that Matilda hits 4 on time. If not, maybe they could play towards Hilda's side, but then again, it's just JM Pinkman on the Hilda. It's not going to really change the outcome of the game. So they still, if they are finding that tempo break, it's got to be on somebody of value.
Actually, now that I think about it, if somehow Blacklist International gets another kill onto Gebe, that actually might be GG, because if his goal is lower than Dreams, that's a very bad spot to be, because you're denying that roam boots. The speaking of which, Alter Ego, they're forcing this turtle, and they really need to get this, and then they're able to get it. So that's one way they're recovering a bit of the farm.
And I mean, it's totally fine because Blacklist International, with or without the turtle, isn't that big of a deal, right? JB is still level 4. MP has been power farming the top side of the map and even alleviated pressure for Outplayed. He's down again, 2 levels ahead of JB as the next clear is coming through.
Yeah, and we're looking at the levels here. Yeah, MP has been farming quite well. Everyone else is more or less the same, but it looks like a fight happened up top, and Outplay actually still survives that. Kiza is here to help out, able to get outplayed, but Dreams has to be traded. But again, I feel like if you're able to take down the High early in the game, that's a good play by Alter Ego.
They found their tempo breaker here. At the very least, you know, neutral objectives still pretty uncontestable at this point of time. Let's see how MP is going to play around it, because at this point it's a bit of a recovery period as Alter Ego do take the lead back from Blacklist International, and you can see that the mid trio is going to be a very important proponent of it. Keep in mind, they did lose 2 battle spells, 2 flickers for the cost of Outplayed, and I mean, Outplayed is more than happy to just sit in lane for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, and now honestly, MP, he has a choice. Whether he wants to save his deadly catch for a big fight, or he'll just visit a lane, throw it out to chunk down the turret a little bit, and then continuously farm. Because this is the advantage that he has as a Bane, where Alter Ego, they themselves want to farm a little bit onto Dream. So he can choose. He doesn't have to save it. He can use it for turrets, or if they're playing a fight, then just save it.
Okay, they've got priority, and JM, he's running up the river. There could be a potential fight that could happen here, but in the next 13 seconds or so, looks like Blacklist International don't find the right conditions just yet. They just want to hit level 8, and then move on towards Turtle side and look to potentially punish Alter Ego if they want to take a fight with a man down.
Yeah, right now, it looks like both teams do want to contest the turtle. I kind of feel like Blacklist International, they can force a fight. It looks like Alter Ego, they want this.
Well, they're going to start off the Raging Sandstorm with the Netherrealm. Nobody is able to be killed. Nothing they could do. And they even bring in Outplayed for this team fight as well to kind of boost him up with another kill and an assist underneath his belt. It's a very clean take from Blacklist International for the turtle as they swap the lane so that Outplay can actually farm up the turret plane and they catch back up the highs.
And this is where we start to see the strength of the draft Blacklist International has, because again, this is a very strong team fighting comp, and there's a lot of utility in that previous fight. It looks like up top, looks like they want to engage on the GM Pikmin, but it looks like he's able to get away. Highs has to use the Blazing Duet, but just to clear the minion wave. In terms of the goal, with 1 fight, Blacklist International is way ahead. 1.7k ahead, in fact.
Now, we gotta keep in mind the shape of how these fights need to look like. For Alter Ego, they definitely want to break the battle lines. Oh, Gibby, that probably wasn't Blazers you were looking for. Gets bailed out by Dreams. Very dangerous movements here. He's got to make sure that his ability, his cooldowns for mobility options are still available if ever he wants to instigate a fight.
And now it looks like they want to continue on to highs. Blacklist International want to keep up the pressure. They're looking at this top lane, and all 5 members are here. I kind of feel like Alter Ego, they gotta let it go. Circling Eagle is used, but looks like they're just gonna retreat. They're not gonna fight head on with Blacklist International. Gabe is going mid. Looks like he's not able to get much advantages there.
They're slowing down that mid rotation. I definitely think there was a point of contention where maybe Gebe could have looked to actually crack open that tier 1, but instead he's focusing on that farm, leaving Nino out for now. Dreams, he needs to pull him back, but unfortunately Nino is left out to die. Vengeance being popped at the same time, and even the Deadly Catch being thrown towards Dreams' side. Blacklist International are just bulldozing through the line of Alter Ego. You will not slow us down. We will take what we want.
Oh, and Highs in the backline looks like he is safe with the BMI, but Blacklist International, they're just pushing because they know they're strong and they move in. They got Gebe and Roundel, even though he got the farm, is all his going down. Killing spree for Haji, and at this point, Alter Ego, they want to fight back, but now the Netherrealm has been popped. Alter Ego does not have enough damage to deal with Blacklist International.
Blacklist International, I was wondering about their chemistry for the longest time here at SPS, but it has been steadily growing, and it's getting better and better. With the movements that we're seeing with the Shadow Stampede coming in from Haji, pulling them into Perkziva, who bothered to even throw out his Raging Sandstorm in the first place, Blacklist International maintains such good pressure, and they're going to keep on doing this, right? They've got the tempo, they've got pressure as well, and unfortunately for Alter Ego, they're getting stat checked.
This is the kind of advantage when you have a player like Haji that can play amazing as a mid laner as well as a roamer, where he can choose here that can do both. Just like a Faramis, you can help out your team in terms of like making sure that they don't die with the Netherrealm, but at the same time, if you want some kind of engage, he can do that. Blacklist International, they got a big buff with Haji playing this Faramis.
Oh yeah, and he's apparently he's got the biggest difference compared to his opposing laner Roundel. At this point, Blacklist International are just making sure playing 4-1 even, just to keep their eyes available, because Penguin's never gonna die to Gebe at this point, or even to Dreams, and as long as they have vision over both of them, Blacklist International will continue to punish the other three who are just trying to clear the wave.
And now we can see the speed that Blacklist International can move around the map with both the Hilda as well as the Khalid. It does look like they understand that Alter Ego, they want to split up the map, so they pick both these picks very, very early so that in case anything happens, one of them can go and slow them down or potentially stop them dead in their tracks. And Pikmin looks like he's going to get picked off, use the flicker to get away, and we can see the difference of gold here really hurting Alter Ego, where 4 members is unable to pick off 1 member of Blacklist International.
This game is looking really unplayable, right? Because again, Blacklist International aren't just focused on the waves and gaining priority, but they're also keeping in mind the rotational pass for the jungle clear, right? As soon as that orange buff comes back up, they're moving towards that side of the map to push Suyo out of there. If Gebe is unable to find any farm, then these neutral objectives are so free for Blacklist International, and they can basically just sit on top of the Lord Pit, right? They want Alter Ego to actually come into them.
My worry here is that they might not have enough damage from Alter Ego to really deal with Blacklist International. Zaman Force has been used by Outplay just to zone them away, letting MP get this Lord for free.
This is such a tough game. Such a tough game. Endless battle already being finished up by MP as he's about to hit max level as well on the next 2 clears. This is not looking great for Alter Ego, because even so, the people who I'm hoping have enough items to tempo break, like Highs or maybe even Nino, they're kind of under-farmed. Oh!
Looks like Dreams and Gaby are able to get away, but that's all they can do. But they want to fight. Now they have advantage in the turret, but Haji with the Netherrealm is able to survive for now. Nino goes in, Highs goes in, shut down onto Haji, and now they find MP. Can they actually get him? Gebe will try to move forward. MP is able to get out of that bad situation, but Outplay here looking for an opportunity. Going with the Zaman Force, trying to chase after them, but looks like he's not going to force it out. They're just going to get this turret.
Dreams bailing them out of some pretty tough situations, but unfortunately for James Pikmin, oh, so close! But AE don't want to go further to finish off that kill. At this point, it's all about the defense, and despite everything, I think that was their best attempt from Alter Ego to try and pull this game back into their control. Golden Staff finally finished by Highs, and even the Radiant Armor is done for Nino. But I don't think it's going to be enough just yet. The next item, Power Spikes for the side of Blacklist International, should be coming up in about, I'd say give or take 6,000 for Outplayed specifically, because he hasn't stopped farming. He's been finding kills on the map as well. He's very supercharged and very accelerated this game.
Yeah, honestly, I was very much worried Alter Ego doesn't have enough damage, but in the previous fight, it does look like they do have damage. Now, to be fair, we got to put the asterisk that a turret was helping out. The turret was attacking Haji the entire time, so that does help out in terms of the damage, but it does look like Alter Ego, there is a chance. But how many chances can you have just like that? Because now they only have their inhibitors, and Blacklist International, they don't have to force it out. They're just waiting for the Lord so that they can get a free inhibitor. Now James Pikmin is just zoning them away.
And now that he's spot out too, they're all rotating for this, and JM Pigman, he doesn't mind taking the damage for now. If it causes a reaction, Xiva might be able to see the rest of them. He spots out 3, but really, they care more about the Lord than anything else. And you're right, Blacklist International don't have to force these fights out. And honestly, at this point of the game, with a 5k gold lead, as we move on to the 12th minute and the second Lord, I think that Blacklist International are the ones who have to give that free pass over to Alter Ego. It's their decision whether or not they will give Alter Ego that chance.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not so sure what's the window for Alter Ego. Like, what will have to happen for them to say, we can take this fight? Like, the most obvious one, I guess, is that Haji accidentally misclicks his ult, and then using the Netherrealm early, and then maybe you can go in for a fight, but what are the chances of that actually happening?
It's pretty low, honestly. Pretty low unless, you know, you can bait Haji with a low member. I think that's the only way. Just, you know, trigger those killer instincts. Let's see how they play out this Lord fight. At this point, Blacklist International, as you mentioned, don't need to force it out. And every time Alter Ego come to take space, Blacklist International happily gives it to them. They've got priority down on bot side. A wave is building up there. So Blacklist International are not inclined to do anything at this point.
Yeah, it's very smart by JM Pigman. He was actually setting up that slow push by just killing out the front minions, making it so that slowly but surely they're building this wave. And the bottom lane, it's really built up. And now JM Pigman, he's controlling the top as well. So he's really doing a lot for the macro of Blacklist International. And now they even get the Lord.
Xiva, he's gonna Raging Sandstorm out of there. Manages to survive still. They even had the insurance, health insurance of the Deadly Catch as well. Oh wait, no, they want to continue fighting even further. With the Netherrealm already popped on the opposite head, Ives is able to get into the back line, and Nino is able to cut him off. JM Pigman goes down to Jebe, and 2 members at the cost of nothing for the side of Alter Ego. Despite the health insurance, it doesn't cover everything.
Now, Gideon, we just talked about it. What's the green light for Alter Ego is when Haji just used his Netherrealm early. And you said someone, you know, gets very low in it and he has to use it. And I was like, okay, that happened. But that is like, there's no way Blacklist International stays for the fight. But yeah, did they make that mistake?
They really did. And right now, Dreams really far out of position, taking so much damage as Haji is going to chase after him. But in the meantime, Alter Ego will take full control, right? They won that team fight. They're looking for their spoils of war, and that's going to be the mid-tier 1 to open up this map a little bit more. Remember, He's already got 4 items in the bag. He's been consistently farming, hasn't lagged behind Outplayed, who at this moment is looking for that 3rd item. He needs to get, he needs to eventually, actually, no, he doesn't need a defensive item. If he wants to be greedy, he can, but JM Pigman, once again, opening up this map very nicely for Blacklist.
Gideon, honestly, this is very impressive. Look at the gold difference. It's not that much. In the mid lane, there's a lot, but now even Heis is actually having a bit of an advantage over Outplayed. Now, this is very impressive. Heis is really showing up, and now that the Wishing Lantern has been built by Roundel, a lot more ways that they can handle the front line of Blacklist International. If Blacklist waits a bit longer and the Divine Glaive gets built up by Alter Ego as well, JM Pigman, MP, as well as Xiva, they're not going to be all that tanky, and Dream Shield and Heal will be, I would say, superior compared to their tankiness.
Well, I mean, Alter Ego, they've equalized very nicely against Blacklist International. Now reducing the gold lead to 1.5k. It's not going to be as easy for Blacklist International to kind of bulldoze their way through ever since the mid-game. But now looking at the damage leaderboard, Rondella has been doing a pretty good job as well, right? He's been finding a lot of value from his Shadow Strikes. And even for JM Pigman, as much as he likes opening up the map, as you mentioned, with that Wishing Lantern, he probably won't be able to do that as often now.
Yeah, like, again, looking at the damage that Heis is able to deal out against JM Pigman, I feel like Blacklist International, they need to start respecting the damage coming in from Alter Ego, because, yeah, now looks like they can definitely do it. Speaking of which, Heis so far has very good discipline in making sure that he doesn't overcommit with his Blazing Duet, because so far, 0-0 and 3, he hasn't made a mistake that really cost Alter Ego the game. Sure, Nino, Roundel, and Dreams have been caught out a little bit, but as the main damage dealer, Heis is doing very well.
Okay. JM Pigman taking a good amount of damage here, doesn't lose his battle spell, and now Alter Ego's plan is in full effect. Rondell getting chunked down, Outplayed, finds him with the help of the Zaman Force, finding his resets and maintaining perfect distance Good footsies from Blacklist International. And with Rundell down, they know for a fact that their Cult Altar or their Netherrealm is not going to be stolen away to be used by their opponents. They're going to take this Lord very easily unless Persada is willing to give another kill on over. Doesn't seem to be the case. With another Zaman forcing the deadly catch, they take that Lord. They're looking to reset and push in for the end.
Yeah, that was actually quite good that the Alter Ego was able to, I would say, push Persada away, because I kind of feel like if Persada has a little bit more HP, he might even commit a Raging Sandstorm to get one member of Alter Ego. But looking at the wave clear here, honestly, is not the best coming in from Alter Ego. I still feel like they can defend for sure, but they probably will have to sacrifice one inhibitor, especially with the charge that Blacklist International have with the Raging Sandstorm as well as the Zaman Force.
Well, Pinkman getting chunked out heavily here. With the help of Haji, deters the rest of the members, but the Lord, as well as the empowered minions, are going to be moving together at this point of time. Now, interestingly enough, Blacklist International, if they do want to guarantee at least one of those inhibitor turrets, it's from the Lord side. But if they want more than that, they can commit a couple... Oh, interesting. MP, early Winter Crown here. Not going to...
Bit of a mistake.
Yeah, he's not going to have it for the upcoming fight. I mean, regardless, they still get at least one inhibitor, right?
Yeah, Roundel also made a mistake where I feel like he wanted the Netherrealm, but he accidentally take away the Zaman Force. So unfortunately, Alter Ego will not have an ult coming in from Roundel.
Well, he gets chunked to 50% here.
He got it.
Soon as they're holding it, it gets bit back up. Outplay getting chunked down still, and he gets out going. Nino finds him, and now they're jumping straight into the back line. The Netherrealm is not going to do it enough as the Deadly Catch only finds two, but it doesn't matter to Eyes. He's gunning them down one by one. Oh man, the consistency of this marksman.
Dude, I gotta say, if Alter Ego wins this one, it's because of Highs, man. He's playing this so well. But yeah, now we can start to see Matilda is pretty weak in the early mid game, but once she has two items, look at the amount of utility she provides for Alter Ego. Like, she just makes sure that Highs and Roundel is able to dish out the damage, and Highs especially is dealing a lot of damage.
MP's Crab Claw Cannon isn't doing much now, right? All the pokes just kind of don't matter once they once this Matilda has come on the line. Oh man, they even have the Divine Glaive as well.
Yep.
You can see that EE are getting extremely confident. Look at them walking up.
Yep, now that the Divine Glaive is there, Roundel can deal significant amount of damage. Alter Ego, they gotta be careful, because again, the counter engage coming in from Blacklist is still very, very strong, because if they're caught lacking, they might be caught in the Deadly Catch, and afterwards, it's gonna be GG. But Alter Ego, they won the previous fight because they immediately popped Outplay. If they can do that again, then yeah, Alter Ego has a very big chance of actually winning this game. They just gotta take out Outplay, which, again, is easier said than done.
My eyes are on Nino right now, right? If he's able to get that initial knockup, because keep in mind, Outplayed is not running Purify, he's running Flicker, so he's confident he's not going to get locked down anytime soon, unless he gets, you know, pulled in by Rundell, he gets hit by a knockup, or even gets feared. That's when the problems start to occur.
Yeah, we can start to see Roundel with one combo forces Persada half HP. That's how much damage that you can have with the Divine Glaive as well as the Wishing Lantern. And now Alter Ego, they're really going for this Lord. They gotta be careful, because I gotta feel like Blacklist is better here. Jam Pinkman already chunked down very, very low by Alter Ego. And now the Lord has been reset. Alter Ego is waiting for that opportunity, but the same can be said by Blacklist International.
They're just baiting out ults here. They're trying to see how many resources they can get out. Rundell put down to 1/3. Oh, with the Winter Crown and the Blazing Duet here. Oh no, the timing is perfect coming in for Persada. He still manages to get out with the help of his Purify. MP takes out Highs with the Crab Claw Cannon as they're looking for the counter engage. I don't think they have enough damage here, but JB looks straight for the back line towards Outplayed. Saved by the Netherrealm once more, and Nino, he's still alive. He's able to kind of hold that front line with the help and peel from Dreams and Rundell, but that's a devastating fight. More value coming in from Blacklist International.
Oh, MP is so low. Alter Ego, they so want to go in and kill him off. But the support was there. They make sure that MP was able to take that Lord cleanly. The only dev that Highs had so far, that's game-changing, where it was a good idea, but man, the risk, that was so risky, and Blacklist International was so ready to counter that play.
Oh yeah, he was. Thank goodness. I thought initially he had Purify, but no. It's just because he has the extra tenacity, durability from his boots. And I mean, the fact that he had Sprint, managed to try and get out there, the heal just isn't enough in these types of scenarios. Now Nino will get the Twilight armor. He's expected to get bursted down, but he wants to hold off that front line like he did in that previous Lord fight as they start to push in.
Yeah, Highs, looks like now he's picking up a little bit more damage. But Dreams actually goes in, and now Dreams has to use the Winter Crown, but looks like he might be taken down. MP gets the kill. The Lord marches in, but it looks like the Lord is gonna get taken down. Blacklist International is inside the base of Alter Ego, and now they're charging in mid, getting that mid inhibitor. 2 inhibitors are down. Minions are marching in. Alter Ego with 3 members are gonna have to try to defend. Nino jumps in. It looks like Nino is gonna get taken down, shut down by Haji, and game number 1 goes over to Blacklist International.
Woo, took a couple more steps than it probably should have for Blacklist International.